The bar smelled of sweat, cheap cigars, and something far worse, hopelessness. Somewhere between the fourth game of poker and the bottom of a nearly empty whiskey bottle, a man with a thick beard and cracked voice slurred a sentence that would burn into everyone's memory that night. "Take the girl," he said, flinging his calloused hand toward a frightened 14-year-old standing in the corner, eyes wide with fear and disbelief. "That should cover my tab." Gasps broke out, but no one moved. No one dared. In a town like Cross Hollow, forgotten by time and mercy, the worth of a girl had become tragically negotiable. The girl's name was Ellie. Thin as a broomstick and just as silent, she'd spent her short life being ignored, pushed around, and used. Her mother had died 2 winters ago from pneumonia, and her father had drowned himself in liquor and self-pity ever since. She scrubbed floors, fetched drinks, and kept her head down. But that night, fate had different plans. A man in a dusty leather coat sat at the edge of the bar, his face half hidden beneath a wide hat. He had been watching everything, not just the game, not just the drinking, but Ellie. Watching how her eyes flinched every time someone shouted. How she clutched the frayed edge of her apron like it could protect her. He slowly set down his glass and stood. "I'll take her," he said calmly, his voice smooth as aged bourbon. Everyone turned. Ellie froze. "You sure about that, stranger?" the bartender asked. "She's more trouble than she's worth." The man gave a small smile and tossed a leather pouch on the bar. It hit the wood with a heavy thud. "This should cover the whiskey, and the girl." The pouch burst open slightly, revealing gold coins. Gasps. No one asked questions. In Cross Hollow, gold spoke louder than justice. Ellie was handed over like a broken tool. The man gently took her hand. "Come on now, kid. Time we left this place." Ellie didn't speak. Her legs moved on their own. Her heart was thudding like a warning drum. She didn't know this man. But for some reason, his touch didn't feel like possession. It felt like rescue. They rode for miles in silence. The man's horse, a sturdy mare named Hazel, trotted steadily through the cold night. Ellie clutched a blanket he gave her, her body still shaking, her mind unable to grasp what had happened. At a quiet clearing beneath the stars, the man set up camp. He made a fire, gave her soup, and let her eat first. No questions. No demands. Just warmth. Finally, he spoke. "Name's Thomas Hale. You can call me Tom." Ellie stared into the fire. "Why'd you take me?" He didn't answer right away. He reached into his coat and pulled out a photograph, faded, folded at the edges. A girl, about Ellie's age, with wild curls and bright eyes. "She was my daughter," Tom said softly. "Gone 3 years now. Sick. Nothing I could do." Ellie's throat tightened. "When I saw you," Tom continued, "I saw her. Not in your face. In your silence. In the way you didn't ask to be saved." Ellie looked up. For the first time in years, someone was looking at her like she mattered. Days turned into weeks. Tom took Ellie to his ranch 3 counties away. It was vast and peaceful, with horses, creeks, and hills that rolled into the horizon. Ellie learned to feed chickens, brush horses, and cook real meals. But more than that, she learned what it felt like to be safe. Every night, Tom read to her by the fire. Every morning, she had a place at the table. He never raised his voice. He never asked for anything but honesty and effort. But peace never lasts long in a world like this. Cross Hollow's sheriff, Luther Pike, was a man feared by most and respected by none. With greasy hair and a lazy sneer, he ran the town like his own twisted kingdom. Word reached him that the drifter who took Ellie might have been a rich man in disguise, and that didn't sit right with Luther. "Nobody walks into my town and takes what they want without answering to me," he spat one evening as he leaned against the jail's porch. He sent 2 men, bullies with badges, to visit Tom's ranch. The visit came on a rainy afternoon. Ellie was helping Tom mend a fence when two riders appeared. They dismounted slowly, eyes cold and calculating. "You Tom Hale?" one asked. Tom nodded, stepping in front of Ellie. "Depends on who's asking. Sheriff Pike wants a word. Says you've got property that wasn't yours to take." Tom's jaw clenched. "She's not property. She's a child. One I rescued." The men chuckled. "That's not how we heard it. She was part of a trade, they say. You paid for her like whiskey. That makes her yours, or his. And the sheriff don't like sharing." Ellie's hands trembled. Tom held firm. "Tell Pike he's welcome to come see me himself. But next time, don't send dogs to bark at my door." The men spat on the dirt and left, but Ellie could feel it. Trouble was coming. That night, Tom told her everything. About who he really was. A self-made man who left behind the world of boardrooms and headlines after losing his wife and daughter. He'd roamed for years, trying to make sense of life. And then he found Ellie. "I didn't save you out of pity," he said. "I saved you because you reminded me that I still had something to give." Tears streamed down Ellie's cheeks. But their quiet life didn't last. A week later, Sheriff Pike showed up himself, with a warrant, forged and fake. "She comes with me," he declared, smirking. "We've got laws about stealing girls." Tom refused. "You're not taking her." Guns were drawn. Neighbors gathered. Ellie stood between them, eyes blazing. "You think you can buy girls and call it rescue?" Pike sneered. "You think money gives you the right to be the hero?" "No," Ellie said loudly, stepping forward. "He's not a hero because he's rich. He's a hero because he treated me like a person. Something no one in your town ever did." The crowd murmured. Someone stepped forward, a teacher Tom had hired for local kids. "I'll testify for him. So will others. You're the one abusing power, Pike." More people stepped up. Ranchers. Neighbors. Even the old saloon keeper who once turned a blind eye. Pike's face turned red. He backed down. For now. The incident became a turning point. Ellie was legally adopted by Tom. She finished school, spoke at conferences, and started her own foundation. At 21, she opened her first home for abused girls, Ellie's Haven. One day, she returned to Cross Hollow with Tom. The bar was gone. Replaced by a library. And behind it, a statue. Of a girl holding a book in one hand, and a key in the other. The plaque read, "She was traded for whiskey, but became the voice of thousands." Tom smiled, pride shining in his eyes. Ellie squeezed his hand. Because sometimes, the ones the world throws away are the very ones who change it. No child is ever a commodity. And no act of kindness, no matter how quiet, goes without echoes. Real heroes don't rescue to be worshipped. They rescue because they remember what it feels like to be lost.